Important announcement. Stay tuned and see what I'm announcing. Thanks for tuning in. Jeff for ArizonaHotHomestead. Important announcement today. It's windy. Hopefully the wind doesn't bother us too much. But the announcement is, I want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the projects I'm doing, how long it's taking. I've had some people reach out to me and say, why don't you ever finish this, or why does it take so long to do this? And let me tell you, this video, I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you, never mind. So, here's why my projects take so long. Me, myself, and I. It's just me. Myself and I are kind of worthless. So, I do get help from time to time from family and friends, but they have lives. They got family, they got lives. They can't come up here every 10 seconds to help me out. So they do come up every now and then, and we get stuff done. But in the meantime, I got to take care of it myself. The biggest problem with taking care of it myself is this. I need someone on the other end. You know, would you hold this for me? No one's there to hold it. So now I have to rig something up. Now it takes longer to rig something up, to hold it up while I do whatever it is I'm doing. You know, it's just simple things like that matters. You know, basically I joke if I just had someone who hold the other end of a tape measure, or hand me the screw that I just dropped when I'm on top of a ladder, that makes a difference. Because then you gotta climb down the ladder, pick up the screw, climb back up the ladder. It seems so trivial. It seems so simple, but it's little things like that that makes a 2-hour project 20 weeks. And then you have this issue. You get going along and you're like, crap, ran out of screws. Or, dang, I need one more sheet of this. Or, you know what, I forgot this. Or, dang, that's not going to work, I got to do this instead. Then you got to run into Home Depot, go into town and back. That's like a 3-hour trip. You know, going an hour there, an hour back, and then an hour trying to get what you need there at the store, maybe half hour if you're lucky. But then you also got to look at other things. You try to buy extra stuff because you might need it, and that way you don't have to make an extra trip. But then you're spending money on stuff you don't need right now. And then get this, folks. I blew the engine in my car. My Jeep, my Grand Cherokee. Blew the engine in the car. At least the car didn't catch on fire like my other one, huh? So I had to repair that. Obviously, you guys know what cost of a pre-owned vehicle costs these days. I wasn't going to pay that. So I had the engine rebuilt. And obviously getting the engine redone, got a 100,000 mile warranty and all that, so that was awesome. But still, a bunch of money out of my pocket. Have you seen the price of lumber? Holy crap! You know, when you're looking at a half-inch OSB going from $15 to like $75, that is a huge chunk out of your cash. You know, when you're trying to build that pump house and you figure, well, gee, this is only going to take a couple $100, ends up taking a few thousand, you're like, whoa, that was a lot more than I expected. You know, and so the cost of everything keeps going up. Now, granted, if I would have finished everything like 5 years ago, it would have been cheaper, right? Haha. But again, it's me, myself, and I. My dog is useless. All my dog Concho wants to do is go chase rabbits or play. So, yeah, I can't get him to help at all. He's adorable. But yeah, so basically that's a skinny. That's why it takes me so long to do a project. Plus, here's another thing. We all joke around out here that if it's not one thing, it's another. Because that's literally what happens. Like the rains that happened last June. We had record rainfall. We shattered was like a 500-year record for this area. And this town's not even that old. But it was like one of those 500-year flood records type of thing. It was the most rain that Sholo in the area has ever seen, and it caused damage to my road. Now I had to fix my road. That cost me some money. Then it did some other basic damage around here that I had to go through and repair. Then you end up with other things like you think you're ready, but then your heat tape fails and you end up with a frozen pipe. Now you got a busted water line. Now you gotta go fix that. Or something else happens, and then now you gotta go take, like the engine. Blew the engine. So instead of taking care and spending the money on the project, now I gotta shift directions and go take care of the car. You know, so it's always one thing that you think you've got it covered, and it just, something surprises you and pops in there anyhow. If it's not one thing, it's another. You know, it's just, and the sad part is it could be little things. Like, I had a small water leak in the inside of the RV there, where, you know, the water line, the little plastic PEX corner piece cracked. It was spewing out. I'm like, well, crap, I have to stop everything now. Now I got to run down Home Depot. I got to get the parts there. Do I go plastic? Do I go brass? I went with brass. I did a video on that. Take care of that. There's other times when all of a sudden, you know, my inverter in the RV went, so I had to replace that. My water heater went on the inverter on the RV. I had to replace that. You know, just one thing after another just seems to pop up. My water pump. One of the reasons why I'm redoing my pump house is because my water pump was going bad. It had a leak that I couldn't get fixed, so it was cycling on and off. Plus, it was a temporary water pump anyhow. It was one of those small Harbor Freight little 5-gallon pressure tank pump, a whole unit in one. So it wasn't one that I wanted to keep. But it served its purpose, but it needed to be replaced, so I was going to replace that. Well, the pump house was also falling apart. Rodents had gotten in there. The dog had chased, going after the rabbits and the rodents, so the foundation, it was beginning to fall apart, and I'm like, I just got to get this repaired. So I started fixing that. So it was great. Now I got a better pressure tank, a better pump, and oh my gosh, life is so much better. So everything that I do makes life better. The only problem is sometimes that gets interrupted by something else. And then you also have the whole cash thing too. You gotta have cash to do stuff. I cash flow everything. I don't do credit. So, but anyhow, but that's just to kind of explain a little bit of why it takes so long to do a project. It's just a multitude of things. But it's also one of those things too, to where when I look back on some of my projects I've done, I'm actually glad that some of my projects has taken longer. And here's why. Some of the things I've done, I've came up with better ideas in the process. So you have this idea and you're building it, and if you would have just went gun-ho and finished it right away, you didn't stop to think, to figure other things out, and all of a sudden something pops in your head like, oh, what if I do this? If I do this, ooh, that would be better. Ooh, that's a better way of doing it. I was going to do it this way, but doing it this way would be better. Because, as you guys know, I'm no expert. I'm making this stuff up as I go. So I learn everything. In fact, every project I do is better than the one before. But it's one of those things where, again, I look at it and I'm thinking, ooh, I could do that. That would be better. So sometimes going slow has worked out for the better. Because like even on my electrical, now granted I'll be upgrading my solar here pretty soon, but my original plan for solar has totally changed now. I got totally different deals I'm doing, and you know what? My new plan is literally 10 times better than the old one. So sometimes it's good to go slow, because you kind of learn, develop, You figure things out. You brainstorm with yourself. Because after all, myself and I are kind of useless. They're not very creative. So, anywho, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button, tell a friend, all that good stuff. And guess what? See you. Bye. Have fun.